Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to teach you a really cool and really easy version of the any card at any number. It relies on a really old principle that's so old that nobody knows where it came from. I released this in a little booklet called Divine X about 5 years ago. There were 10 tricks in there and this was one of them. It's called Menace, which is a backwards acronym for easiest card at number ever made. Oh yeah, and it's self-working. Let's get into it. So before I get started, that principle I was talking about is called the 10 to 24, so I'm sure you've heard of it, but if not, I'll give you a quick rundown of what that is. So it's a way to force a card mathematically, so your force card, in this case, would be the Ace of Hearts, and what we want to do is put this in the 10th position in the deck, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that is your setup. So you ask them to name a number between 10 and 20, so let's say they name 13. So we ask them to deal 13 cards face down on the table, so they do. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Now you ask them to pick up the pile and say, look, there's 2 digits in the number 13. So we have a 1 and a 3. So you ask them to add 1 and 3 together, they get 4. Deal 4 cards on the table, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Put the rest of the cards aside. They look at their card, and it's the force card, the Ace of Hearts. And that works every time with any number between 10 and 20. So now let's use this principle for an any card at any number effect. So what we want to do is take any number card out. In this case, I'm using the 8 of spades. And then you want to take 2 cards that matches the card. So in this case, I'm using the Jack of spades for the suit and the 8 of hearts for the value. In this effect, you always want to have the suit card as a face card. So once you have these 3 cards, you want to set them up like this. So the 8 of spades goes on top, and then these 2 go in positions 9 and 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It doesn't matter the orientation. So you say to your spectator, I'm going to make a prediction based on how you handle the cards. So you hand them the deck, and you ask them to cut about a third of the deck onto the table, like that. Then mix the rest, and cut about half beside those, and then mix the rest, and put the rest down. So before you touch anything, you want to take a marker out and a piece of paper or a business card, and you just write down your prediction card, the 8 of spades. So you do that, you just write down the 8 of spades. Don't let them see this, of course. So the 8 of spades, just like that. Cap the pen and put this aside. Now this is perfect misdirection for the spectator Rosie cut, which right now you just put things back on top and the top 10 cards is perfectly intact. Now you ask them to name the number between 10 and 20, so they do. Let's say they name 17, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. They put the deck aside. Now you say, look, nobody could have known beforehand that you would have picked 17. Nobody could have known what that card is after your cut and shuffle. But let's take it a step further. Let's take those 2 numbers in 17, 1, and 7, and we get 8. Do me a favor, pick up those cards and deal 8 cards right there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and put the rest right beside there. Now what you do here is you ask them to take up these 2 cards like this and look at them. And while they're doing that, you just put these on top of there like this. Now check this out. Right now you still have the 8 of spades on the bottom of this pile, which will be important later. And now you ask them to pick up these 2 cards and you say, look, nobody could have known beforehand what these 2 cards would be, but let's take it a step further. I want you to create a card that nobody could have known beforehand. I'm assuming you have a number card in there. Yes, they say yes. Now focus on that number, and then the other card, just focus on the suit. And you say, now you're able to make up a new card, which is a really cool way to get them to think of the 8 of spades. So now what you do is you say, look, that could have been any card. It could have been this card, it could have been these 2, these 2. Now what you're doing here is you're displacing 2 cards on top of this pile as you're doing all this. So it could have been 10 hearts, could have been 2 clubs, and just put them on top of this pile just casually. And then just pop these on top of the deck. Now you get them to return their cards somewhere deeper than the 17 cards. So you cut about, 2/3 of the deck, and you have them put these cards back in the middle like this. Now you say, remember, before anything happened, I wrote something down, and you could have thought of any number, and you could have thought of any card. Wouldn't it be crazy if the card that you're thinking of is the card that's on this business card? They say the 8 of spades, and then boom, there's the 8 of spades. Now you punch them in the face again with this any card, any number kicker. So then you ask them, what was the number you originally thought of? 17? And then boom, hand them the deck. They count 17 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. What was the card? 8 of spades. Boom. Alright, so that's Menace. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.